with a full consciousness that we're going to go out into the world and have to make our way, not knowing. I mean, Harvard Business School does this. It teaches by the case method. It doesn't teach principles, because when you're running a business, you quickly discover that you don't know, yet you have to make action bets, and often you fail. That's life. But it's not life under the vision of decision science, where everything can be known beforehand, every risk can be calculated and assigned a probability. That's just false. I mean, if you don't know what the possibilities are, you can't evaluate risk. But we have to act anyway. So we have to rethink, roughly speaking, we have to rethink everything. And for the next generation coming along, if what I'm saying is right, it's going to take us 50 or 100 years to begin to understand what this might mean for how we live. But rich experiences, always work that you find meaningful and expressive of who you are as a human being, which means that society has to have a way of supplying that work without anybody being in charge, because nobody's wise enough to be in charge, because we really do go into an adjacent possible that we cannot know very far out. We can sense the very near adjacent possible because we manage it, right? Well, how do we do it? I think that all of this means that we're living in an open universe. It is creative. We are participatory members of this creative universe, along with butterflies and lichen. Some kind of profound appreciation of the openness and creativity that we embody and that life embodies, and maybe the abiotic universe does too. I think that there's glimpses of a vision of a new way of being in the world, that it will take a lot of very smart people and a lot of very ordinary people feeling in their guts, thinking with their hearts to try to understand what it is we might be talking about. And the answer isn't there in a book. The answer isn't there in a formula. It's something we have to live together and co-create.
What does all this mean to our understanding of leadership? I mean, if you go, as a little kid, you go to the kindergarten, there is a leader. If you go to school, there's the teachers, right in front of you telling you what to do. Same thing at university. Usually the same thing when you go in an enterprise. But this has to change, hasn't it?
At least partially. Suppose, of course, these are all just my opinions right now, and nobody knows. I mean, it's really important that nobody knows. Suppose we hold in front of ourselves two institutional examples. One is British common law, again, that evolves slowly by precedent, and by precedents that are more widely quoted and less widely quoted, so that some things are fundamental changes in common law, and other things that aren't. That keeps common law both conservative and alive, right? That's an image of a skeleton of stability that transmits a culture. So one role for the leader is to do that, right? It is to make us members of co-evolving societies in a way that can work and flourish. But the other image of the leader is the inspirational leader who says, you know what? It's time to be adequately crazy. And that is exploring the adjacent possible and running out into it. Don't you get the sense that we have to do both, but we have to do it in a more self-conscious way, not just intellectually self-conscious, but feeling, intuition, emotion, imagination, metaphor, evoking, experiencing, reasoning in a way that's integrated that we don't know how to do. So that, for example, the boundaries between science and art and plumbing and being a lawyer and jurisprudence, we come to see as broken down and as a continuum of our humanity. Because it is.